Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so what we got today?
Well, let's just fire it up, man. Hobo, what's your name, Hobo?
My first name is Steve.
Steve.
Yep.
All right. I got Steve on my show today. This is a bit of a swap cast, I would call it.
Yeah, collaboration, whatever.
Yeah.
Mix match.
Um, yeah, thanks for coming on anyway, Steve.
Appreciate it.
I see you're smoking a little cob pipe there.
Yeah, I'm kind of a hipster now.
Damn. What's in that thing?
Wilshire tobacco.
Nice. So you're just
For those that don't believe me.
Holy crap, that's a big bag.
It's only a pound. I've been smoking on it for about almost a month and a half now.
So how the hell did you buy a pound of tobacco?
I mean, you can go to any pipe store and get a pound of tobacco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or you can go to online and order it. They usually sell it by a pound.
That's pretty classy. You just walk around with that thing and freaking.
I only smoke it at home. It's kind of a leisure thing at home.
Yeah, it's like a hobby.
Yeah.
Almost. You can get like different pipes and different tobacco, and, you know?
Yeah. It's actually the same breed my dad smoked. So a lot of it kind of feels like, because he's no longer with us. So it's like, it's kind of my thing of keeping with him, kind of.
Cool, man.
It's a weird thing, but it is what it is.
No, that makes sense. So I guess let's just shoot the shit, man. Let's just talk crazy. And
how crazy you want to get?
I don't know, man. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, congratulations on the 29th anniversary of Waco.
Oh, Waco, man. When is that?
You don't know what today? Waco is?
No, I said, when is that?
It's today.
Holy crap. Well, let's talk about that then.
I think it was 58 men and women, and I think 12 children died by an FBI raid with a firebomb attack.
That's freaking wild, dude. Yeah. Did anyone get in trouble for that?
So the director that was running the situation actually got promoted afterwards. To
sounds about right.
I think he was. You're gonna have to fact check me on this one, but I think he was deputy director after the incident, and then he became director of the CIA. 2018, I think.
Like, good job, boys. We're gonna go ahead and give you a promotion.
Yeah. I'm not all about that cult. I'm not all about the crazy cult things, but they pretty much went after him for having too many firearms.
How does that even make any sense?
It doesn't.
Like, is there a cap on how many firearms you could have?
Well, so
the answer is no, right?
Absolutely not. So the FBI listed them as a terrorist organization, and then they went after them for it.
What do you think the real reason why they did that?
Because they were they tried to become a sovereign area and regulate themselves, and they stopped paying income tax to the state, and that's why they really went after them. Yeah, that's the underlying issue, but
that's the real issue, if you ask me. The too many guns is like the official story, like, that's like the cover-up story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's bull crap. There's tons of, especially in Texas, there's tons of people with like several firearms. Like, I know people that have like a shitload of guns, It's like, I don't know why I have 30 assault rifles, but I do, and I'm just like, cool,
Define assault rifle. Only when you're committing assault does a rifle become an assault rifle.
I would call it, I guess, a long rifle.
A long gun,
Or, I love guns.
The only thing I have an issue with is like when we start to get howitzers. It's like, okay, I get it, but come on.
Where do you live?
Do you know where Notre Dame is in Indiana?
No.
All right. So here's Chicago.
Yes.
Here's South Bend. I live about here. Like, it's right there, close to Indiana, Michigan border.
Cool. So can you get guns over there?
Yes, I have plenty of them in my house.
How are the laws like?
So Indiana just recently signed in the bill for Constitution carry, which means you no longer need a permit to carry concealed.
Yeah.
And The only real regulation we have is like for hunting. They only allow certain calibers for hunting, and some of them are arguable.
Yeah, I mean, but
for the most part, it's do whatever. Just don't let the police show up because they don't want to do paperwork. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, remember, like when they said that, oh my God, like the liberals were like, I don't know if you're liberal or not, but anyways, they're like, oh my God, there's gonna be mass shootings every day. They're taking away. They're gonna make it a constitutional carry. It's gonna be the Wild West. Everyone's gonna be shooting each other. It's like, nope, business as usual. Birds are chirping.
Chicago is the worst part, and they have the highest gun control laws out there.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I tend to tell myself that I sit somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of a milquetoast fence sitter libertarian type. I like to pick and choose from both sides. They both have good arguments, but really less government, the better, or more states' rights issues. That's how I am.
I agree with that. Okay, where are you on baby killing?
Oh, you mean abortion?
The baby killers. Yeah.
So I'm somewhere in where the classical liberal sense was safe, legal, rare. Yeah. But it's just, how do I justify having the state saying you did this or you were raped? You have to have this child. I just can't really wrap my head around it. It's kind of a one thing that like, okay.
Isn't it worth saying you can go ahead and kill your baby up to term,
or 2 weeks after it was born, thanks to the California law.
Yeah, it's like, what's worse?
That's extreme.
What's worse, having a rape baby or murdering a baby?
Right. I can agree with the Texas heartbeat law. I can agree with it. I mean, again, there's some gray zone with it. You're not going to have a perfect answer in the world, but that's decent. It's a start. How I think, look at it.
I think maybe like if you got pregnant like the day after you take a pill, it's still ending a life, but at the same time, it's like fuck,
Right? It's like, where do you draw the line? It's the hardest thing.
It's like, like even I know, like the day after is still killing a child,
right?
Like it is.
Well, it kind of comes down to what do you consider life? Is it conception and fertilization, or is it a heartbeat, or is it whatever?
To me, it's conception.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, anyone who with half a brain knows if you blow a batch, off in a girl, she's gonna get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the hell are we talking about here? You know what I mean?
I think the thing I find most disgusting is when people have abortions for clout. That's really when I'm like, all right, you need jail time.
That's like demonic, bro. That's like Moloch shit right there. Right? It's like, I sacrificed my baby to Moloch.
Pretty much.
They did that shit, dude.
I know.
They've been killing babies for a millennia.
Yeah.
I just think it's the modern version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in like low key, it's like,
well, I kind of think that humans have been trained to be more materialistic than they have been more caring about their own people anyways. Like
that's a good point too.
One of the good questions that came up was like something they asked 100 years ago. You see a stranger in a river drowning, and you also see your dog drowning. Who do you save? 100 years ago, it was a stranger. Yeah. Nowadays, it's the dog. Like, that's how far detached we've come from fellow humans.
That's a fucked up question.
It is.
I would probably go with the human.
I mean,
even though,
yeah.
And that's because I see myself as a caring person. But if something that was a little bit less caring, they'd be like, no, my dog, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you got the situation now, like a lot of the afterthoughts with that is, well, if I save the person, what happens if they sue me because I touched them inappropriately while I'm trying to save them? I'm like, see, there's no winning. Like, just no winning it possible.
Speaking of touching people inappropriately, what do you think? What do you think's going on with the whole PC culture and like, I was raped, even though she like just got drunk and had sex with a guy, and then she's like, damn, I probably shouldn't have did that.
Afterthought consent, revoking or whatever. I like what South Park did for it. What the heck? Everyone turn in your consent forms. Like they had the PC principal.
They had like an app, right?
The house, yeah. Like everyone had to fill out consent forms.
Yeah, it's getting out of control, dude.
Well, that's hookup culture mixed with clout gains, and anybody can sue anybody for any reason.
Yeah, it's like it's like a freaking Mexican standoff.
You know? Much.
Man, I don't know. I just like the way it used to be, you know, like you hook up with the chick, you know, she might have regretted it, you know, you might have been that lucky guy, you know.
And then she goes
away. It
didn't
mean you raped her. Yeah, it didn't mean you raped her.
Right.
It just means she got drunk and made a bad decision, you know.
Yeah, what happened? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Now it turned to sex, drugs, and a lawsuit.
Yeah, and they always want to. I think it's maybe social media like is what is like the catalyst for all the shit that we're going through nowadays.
Well, everyone's an ideologue.
Yeah, you can see like all these people. I think they got us all freaking hooked, like seriously hooked on dopamine. And likes and you know clicks and comments.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like I see it. I'm like, wow, that's crazy how they've got people like that. And I see, I don't have Facebook. I noticed that. I'm like, dude, I'm waking up and like mindlessly checking my phone to see if people are like, you know, if I got any notifications. And I'm like, that's dark. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like kind of like one of those things that I can see it for myself. Like I pulled the wool over my eyes, or I took it off, and I'm just like, you know, I see what it is, truly what it is for what it is, you know. But and I understand it because I just got Twitter again, right? I got Twitter for the first time ever because I started the podcast a while back,
right?
And I wanted to promote the show and look for guests and stuff. I'm like, well, damn, I guess I kind of need Twitter. And it turned into just a freaking
cesspool of annihilation.
Yes, dude, just pure hate. And, you know, just it's like if hell had a chat room, that's Twitter.
I thought that was 4chan.
Yeah. There's like 7 layers of hell, right? And freaking Twitter's one of them for sure. But yeah, man, it turned into just fucking man, you know. And then you get into these long ass conversations, or not even conversations, just like mental battles, you know. It's like, what the fuck is going? I was just here to promote. Like, what is going on here? You know, I got sucked in, right. and I was like, wow, I'm sucked in this now. Like, what the fuck? And then like one day, I was like, man, I want to test the algorithms because I've been banned like 3 or 4 times already. I don't know if you have Twitter.
You get banned? Hate speech.
Yes. Like just anything, like just saying shit to people. Like I would normally say shit or you know, saying something even the slightest offensive, you know,
I mean, even though I feel like tact about it. That's the thing.
Yeah. And then one day I was like, damn, I saw this video of this woman. She was like, we need to teach elementary kids about sex in kindergarten.
Crazy.
And I was like, I fucking saw red, dude. I was like, these motherfucker, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And so I said, I'll kill you, you evil bitch.
That's pretty bad.
But it was like off the cuff. Of course, how am I going to kill her? What am I going to do? Track her fucking down? I don't even know who these people are. You know, it's just a random Twitter video. It's like, but I kind of did it like knowing I was actually testing the algorithms because I spelt it wrong and I put like letters wrong. And like, I wonder if like you can beat the algorithms with like dark shit, you know? And so I did it. I don't think it is because I tried it and I got fucking banned for life.
Just put it in Hebrew.
I think they have translators.
They do, but a lot of people don't, and a lot of other people report it, and that's how it gets up there.
So that's why I was like, okay, it worked. I got banned for life, even though I spelt it wrong, you know, and I put words together just to see. So that tells me 2 things: either it's AI that's
definitely
able to read it and report it, or probably both. Someone saw it and reported it and got me banned.
Yeah, it's very possible. that both scenarios are true.
So yeah, that freaking sucks. And then now I'm like, shit, dude, I probably shouldn't have did that. Because I knew because I met some cool people on Twitter. I got to talk to those conspiracy guys. Gordo from that show. It's a big show he has, and he was super. Yeah, you should check him out. He's super funny, dude. He's like a comedian, but he's a conspiracy guy. You know.
Okay.
And, he does like 5-hour podcasts, 6 hours. Yeah, that he goes super deep. Like the last one he did on pyramids. It was amazing, dude. It was like 6 hours long. I was like, damn, it's already over. Like I wanted it to keep going, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So how do you feel about social media, man? What do you think about all that shit?
I kind of like are you familiar with Matt Walsh?
Yes.
Okay. I like his
take worked for the Daily Wire.
Yes. Right? I like his take on social media. We need to take it away and put it up on a high shelf. We're grounded until we know how to use it from now on. Like that's it.
Yeah,
that's his opinion with it. He's like, okay, we've proven we can't handle this responsibly. Time to take it away. I see it as a tool. Like any tool, it can be misused or used for the wrong purpose. Like I have a wrench that's a hammer. Like just because it's it works as a hammer, even though it's not supposed to be for beating shit down. Social media is a tool. If misused, can be problematic. Unfortunately, a lot of like when all social media really started, it was like, oh yeah, all the hate groups can fester together and make an issue. Well, what's wrong with keeping them in one place so that way we can make a stronger case on like, hey, these people are violent. We should kind of keep an eye on them and not push them to the dark web so we have a harder time finding them.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of it's a double-edged sword.
But it's fucked up because the people that are running it are calling the shots.
Oh,
it's like I told this bitch that I'll kill her, which was being hyperbolic, obviously.
Right.
But yet she can put child porn on there.
I mean, yeah.
So who's more evil? You know what I mean?
Lesser of two evils is still evil.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I know, but like, why can she put that on there, but I can't say that, even though it was obviously not. She's really teaching kids child porn. I'm not really gonna kill her. You know what I mean? So she should be banned too.
I've actually talked to a couple of my friends about this and was like, how do you think the world should treat pedophiles? And a lot of my friends said the same thing. We need to bring back public executions.
I agree.
Like it would put a lot of people on the straight and narrow, even if they acted that way, just to get along. And
yeah.
Bad people do bad things. So you can't stop them from doing it, but we can deter them.
Yeah, I think there needs to be very harsh punishment.
Well, also,
especially
I think
for that crime.
I think a lot of so I'm not really religious. I'm more agnostic, but I do see the value in like a strong knit tight community. Having a strong community and knowing like something's wrong used to be the way of festering out these pedophile types. And then the community would just deal with it themselves.
Yeah.
And now that it's kind of blown out because social media and the news, and then now they're a protected class, I guess.
Yeah. Now you have to be tolerant.
Right.
To that type of shit.
Tolerant to what level? Because at a certain point, it's like, okay, if she was 17, there's a gray zone there. Because like some laws are different in some states. That's one thing. But we're talking about 8-year-olds. That's a whole different burden.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, didn't that new Supreme Court say, there was a case of a 18-year-old raping an 8-year-old, but since they were only 10 years apart, it's not so bad. It's like
stupid.
No,
she can't even tell us what a woman is because she's not a biologist. Did you see that?
Yeah, sure did.
That blew me away. I'm like, hold on, what?
Yeah, we're in full-blown clown world, dude.
Yeah, we are.
I was telling my friends, like, we should be asking this woman about serious questions about civil cases and how she would handle a certain case, kind of like how you would give a mathematician that was applying for a job like a really hard math test,
right?
That's like asking a mathematician what's 1 + 1. We shouldn't be asking these stupid ass questions like, what is a woman?
It's theater.
It's political it's theater. Like, why? What the fuck? Like, if she can't even answer that, like, what are we doing here? It's clown world.
Well, if she can't even answer what a woman is, how is she supposed to answer how different things affect like Title IX, which is the women's equal rights and opportunity. Like, if she can't define what a woman is, how is she able to do any of that job?
Yeah, that's my point. Like, if she can't answer a stupid ass question like that,
right?
Like, the whole thing's botched.
It's all virtue signaling at this point. That's all.
She was. I think she was like afraid. Like, she knows that the news is going to see that
Twitter's going to come after her.
Yes, and they will attack her.
It's amazing how 10% of the population can cancel 80% of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Why are we letting trans people like change all of culture in America?
I think the better question is, why are we glorifying trans people? I think that's the better question. Yeah. I have no issue with trans people, but when
nobody does,
no different.
Nobody does, but
it's no different than like religion. If you force it upon me, you will get a hostile reaction. It's just that's how simple it is. But again, that's the libertarian leave me alone side of me coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Like, if you want to chop your dick off and run around and wave it around, spin around, throw it at people.
I mean, throwing it at people's a little far, is my point, but you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. To a consenting adult. If you want to slap them around with it, that's fine. Do whatever the hell you want. But do you know what I mean? Do not bring the kids into it.
Right.
And do not tell me that I have to like it or I'm garbage.
Exactly. So what's your favorite conspiracy?
Oh, man. So the show's called Lizard News Network.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about who runs the world.
Yeah.
And we have talked about this, me and my friends, for hours and always come up with different answers, by the week. And lately have you ever heard of Pindar?
Pindar? No.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Pindar is the 9-foot albino lizard human hybrid that rules the world.
So Hillary Clinton. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Hillary Clinton. Yeah, man. So I don't know. That one's fun. Because there's like stuff in the Bible that talks about like Anunnaki and like all these weird beings that were basically demons mating with human women.
Yes.
So who knows, man? And then you think like, okay, Joe Biden's ruling the most powerful country on the planet. Do we really believe that? And is that even possible? Or
his staffers are running it right now?
Yeah, like and then who are his staffers? Like, are
people that have been in there for 20 years.
But are they the most important people? Do they have someone they need to answer to?
No.
What about the Vatican?
That's a different kind of story. Vatican's a weird place, just in general.
Big time.
I mean, I think it's one of the few places in the world that Christians, Catholics, and Jews can get along.
Yeah,
but oddly it is.
The thing is, that's just the people,
right?
I'm talking about what's in the damn basements and what's going on with the Pope and his little ring of pedophile freaking leaders that they swap around. You know what I mean? Have you seen that building that looks like a serpent's head?
Which one?
The one in the Vatican.
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, you got to see that shit. It's literally, if you look up like Serpent's Head Vatican, you'll see this crazy ass building. The top, from the outer view, it looks like a snake's head, and on the inside, the pillars look like fangs, in the windows on the side.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it here. Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's undeniable. Look at the inside and the outside. That looks like a damn snake.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't believe I missed that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From the outside and the inside.
Yeah, that's hell, even the glass panes look like serpent eyes.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's pretty insane.
So how could you? Okay, so you cannot tell me. I will not believe. I don't care who tells me that was coincidence, or they didn't know that the building was going to look like that. You know what I mean? Or the architect, like you have to go through so many steps to build a building. I took architecture. I know a little bit about buildings, and there's so much to go through.
It seems to me the roof is actually like curved.
Yes.
And that's what's giving it the weird light fixture way of like warping to a certain focal point. But to put the stage like that to make it look like fangs, like that's hard to disprove at that point.
Yeah.
Like but I even can understand outside, like the lights being weird.
But even the outside looks like the top of a serpent's head.
Yeah, I know. And
it's like both. It like on the inside it looks like a snake, and on the outside it looks like a snake. And then you got that creepy ass in the same building. You have like Jesus rising from the depths of hell.
Right. But yeah, I'm seeing it too.
But it's like wooden, but it really looks like a demon. And there's all this like demonic. It just looks demonic as hell, dude. And then you got the serpent inside the serpent head, and then you got the demonic Christ in the centerpiece. So what the hell?
So you're saying the Pope worships the snake people, the reptilians?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. Like, I'm not crazy. Does that thing not look like a snake?
It looks like a snake head.
It does, right?
First time looking at it, this looks like a snake head. Yeah. And I'm looking at
crazy.
The idol that you're talking about, and it's
wicked, right?
I wouldn't pay money for it. That's for sure. Like, that's weird.
Like that's not something you see in a church. That's something you see like in the satanic church, or like some
looks like creepy, something from Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, like something you would see in Jeffrey Epstein's palace or something, dude. Okay, so I'm a 1 + 1 = 2 kind of guy. You know what I mean? So you got the serpent head, and then you got all the accusations and provable accusations, or provable incidents with pedophiles and priests. Right. And then you got the Pope on record passing around different pedophiles that got busted to other churches.
Right.
You know, and then you got now all this LGBT crap coming out with the Pope. So I can add all those up, and it just turns into something very, very freaking dark. And call it a conspiracy if you want. I mean, I'm saying they're conspiring. Yes, I am saying that, you know.
So this kind of reminds me of one of my favorite experiments. Are you familiar with the Rat Utopia experiment?
Yes.
So for those that don't know, they put a bunch of 100 rats in a contained space, and they gave it unlimited water and food, and they kind of just did their own thing. At a certain point, they stopped breeding and caring about food, and they had what we call a behavioral sink. Now, the behavioral sink made them, they started gay, they started cannibalism, they started grooming themselves, some of them even committed suicide. Now, what they would do is they take the rat out of the utopia, put it into a different one, and the behavioral sink spread like a wildfire in the new area, like almost triple the speed. I think humanity's reached a point where we're at a behavioral sink as it is now, at least in the first world aspects, because we have no more issues or any kind of problems. We've mostly solved and adapted to handle a lot of issues. So I'm thinking it's more of a behavioral sink causing a lot of these different issues, and nobody wants to call them out on it. Nobody wants to be the first one, you know?
Yeah, no one wants to be the rat in there that's ruining all the fun.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of, to make it more rational, that's where my mind goes. Is like, it's just behavioral deterioration upon the human mindset.
So how does that tie into the serpent building?
That one, I got nothing. But I can at least get 2 out of 3. I'm doing all right.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's just poor design. I don't know.
Like, how many people saw that and were like, okay, that looks good. Let it wrap. Like, let it roll. You know what I mean?
You forgot to put the lights in. Shit. Do you see something I don't?
Yeah.
No.
And let's put a nice, huge wooden carving of somebody coming. Yeah. 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 What
Looks
the
like the
fuck's
ending
going on?
credits of Doom Eternal. Realistically,
I know, man. Jesus, I haven't beat that one yet, man. I'm almost there. It's a good
that
game.
game's been out for a while.
I know. I'll play a game like real into it, and then I'll just stop and I'll just move on. I have like a really short attention span when it comes to video games. I think it's because my favorite game in the world is Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
So I have like a super high threshold of like good storytelling, good music.
Yeah.
Great mechanics. I don't give a shit about graphics. You know what I mean? Like good graphics don't make good games. You could have
Minecraft still is a popular game across the world.
Exactly. Yeah. You could have a game that has great graphics and it sucks.
Right.
It's just
all about the mechanics.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to play Borderlands, and even Final Fantasy VII Remake just didn't do it for me. I was like, oh, this is cool, but it's like memory berries,
Right.
But
nostalgia, memory berries.
Yeah. It's like that, but it's still at the same time. I was like, oh, God. Yeah. I don't know, man. What game are you playing games right now, or?
So my video gaming is kind of scaled back quite a bit. I've been playing Call of the Wild. It's a hunter simulator. I've just been playing that because it's calming, it's relaxing, and you really need to take your time with each and every shot. So it's like it's got its moments, it's up and downs.
That's cool. I've seen that one on there.
A buddy of mine's got me into the new Borderlands, Tina's Wonderland, and we ran through that pretty fast. And I'm like, man, now I just gotta sit here and grind. Like, I don't want to play it no more.
Yeah,
it's a looter shooter, and I kind of lost my appeal with that.
Which one? Borderlands?
The Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the newest one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like mindless games. Like, if I'm just trying to kill time, I'll play Call of Duty.
And how can you play Call of Duty with all the hackers? That game is so broken.
I know. I just, like I said, it's like a mindless thing. Like, I'll listen to freaking InfoWars and just play it.
Oh man, you want to talk about InfoWars getting hit with Chapter 11 or filing Chapter 11?
What's up with that, bro?
To my knowledge,
it today. Go ahead.
To my knowledge, he is being sued by the families from the Sandy Hook crisis or shooting.
Yeah,
and they think he has $16 million in a special account, but he's filing. Everyone's like, yeah, he's filing bankruptcy. Well, he's filing Chapter 11, which pretty much brings in the IRS, the Fed, to check all accounts. They pretty much open up their books to the federal government and be like, we have nothing to hide. And pretty much is to prove that he has no $16 million left somewhere else. It's just him going through the rounds. Companies do this all the time when they're being audited or when they're being sued. So I think he said something. He has roughly $3 million to make his operation work. And that's just to keep it floating.
Yeah, that's kind of the takeaway I got too. Yeah. Basically, he just wants them to see, like, they're trying to sue him for like $50 million. He's like, dude, I don't have that.
Exactly. Money, it's ridiculous. I think the whole thing is retarded.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Like, yes, he said some shit about Sandy Hook, and I've never even seen the clips. He heard apparently
vehemently apologized up and down. Yeah, he paid his dues. We have no redemption left in this world, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Alex Jones is right on so many things.
Yeah.
But he also makes mistakes.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's like they found like the perfect spot. It's like on the Death Star, you found that one little spot where you can come in and shoot it and kill him. Like,
right.
I feel like that's it right there. They're like, oh, kids died. We have to, this is the perfect weapon.
If it saves but one life.
Yeah. I love listening to Alex Jones sometimes. He's freaking hilarious.
I like him when he's on different other podcasts and talking differently and out of his element. That's when he really shines as an entertainer.
Yeah. But I mean, he knows a lot of stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of stuff.
He's the one I listened to. He told, what was it? 60% of America's beef supply is cloned. I learned it from him. And I was like, there's no way. And I Googled it as the host was Googling, and he's like, he's right. 60% of America's beef is cloned since 2004.
That's what I mean. Like, that's how people, That's why people listen to him, is because he says wild stuff, and you're like, there's no way that's possible, right? And then you look it up, and you're like, it's true. It's like, son of a bitch.
Another thing he said was, what was it? Thomas Jefferson was being targeted by the Illuminati when America was first being founded. Like the Illuminati actually put letters of marque against him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, there's no way. And then he's like, yeah, he cited the source. And like, I looked it up myself. Motherfucker's right.
Yeah. I don't know how he knows all that crap. I guess he's
I don't know either.
Well, if you see like old clips of him, like he's been doing this for a very long time, you know.
Yeah.
And he's not like a CNN or whatever where they just read a teleprompter. Like he's doing research and learning stuff is what we all should be doing. But it feels like everyone just gets their news like
CNN, MSNBC, Fox News.
It's just so surface level that people don't want to spend the time to actually look into stuff.
Right. And lately, I everyone's been getting their news from memes, like just memes, like just that is not a reliable source.
Yeah.
Cite your sources.
That's like silly. That's like the most ridiculous form.
Right.
You know, like what's next, you know? It's like a picture with a couple of words.
You get a postcard. Did you know this happened this day? No, I did not.
I'd rather have a postcard, I guess, right?
Yeah, at least you can write an angry letter back.
Yeah.
Like you were espousing fake news.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this whole Ukraine thing, man? Or do you got your flag in your bio? And you know,
So I have a very unique take on Ukraine and Russia.
Good.
So Ukraine is not a NATO ally. Ukraine is not an EU ally. Why are we helping them? Is it just to say F you to Russia? Or is there some other ill-gotten gains that we have not seen? It also could tie, this is a big stretch.
That's a good point, though. Good
point. This next thing is going to be a big stretch. Hunter Biden was part of the Burisma Ukraine ideal. Joe Biden's president. Ukraine is having issues. Joe Biden wants to protect his investments. So it makes sense to help from the side when you're trying to protect your own investments. Now, whether or not I'm right, that's still to be seen and whatnot.
Well, that's obvious. I think it's obvious. It should be obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be.
It should be. That's clearly, we all know this to be true.
Right. Hunter Biden laptop story has been proving it more and more.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the data breaches on that yet?
I have seen pictures of Hunter Biden standing ass naked in front of his niece, which I care not to see again.
Did you see the one where Hunter Biden was actually with Obama's oldest daughter in one of the laptops?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You saw a picture?
Yeah, there's in one of the data breaches that they pulled out there. You can actually see, what the hell is it? Haley? I think it's Haley. Obama's oldest daughter is standing there in a bikini top with Hunter Biden in a bathing suit. And it's on there. And in the background, you can see like a brick of cocaine.
No way.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And like, you can't prove it's her, it's fake, and all this other stuff. And then like the next photo over is just a full mugshot of her. And it's like, yeah, I don't think that's fake anymore.
When did that go down?
I believe a week and a half ago.
Wow.
I think it was a week and a half. But granted, there are deep fakes out there. It could be fake.
No, it's real. I'm going with it's real.
Part of me thinks it's real because you can't make this shit up.
Dude, how many times do we have to keep saying this? You know, like
too many.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
A year ago, it's fake. It's fake. You know, it's like, no, dude, no, that's real. Like instantly
find it.
Instantly, I knew it was real. They're like, oh, Hunter Biden left his laptop when he was cracked out. I'm like, okay, I believe that 100%. You know, and then the news is like, no, that's Russian disinformation. And then they got Peter Schiff, the director of FBI, saying that's different disinformation. So that tells me right off the bat that dude's a piece of shit. You know, right. He's just covering up. He's politicized. The whole thing's a sham, dude.
Oh, it is.
The whole thing. I don't even know what to do anymore. Like my friend said it was wrestling and I didn't believe him. And now I'm like, okay, yes, it's wrestling. You're right. I have to admit when I'm wrong.
Big old WWE style thing.
Yeah, it's like they're all buddies in the background, but they have to pretend like they're arguing.
No kidding. Like, I think my favorite thing I found out recently was we were talking about Epstein a little bit, is the Queen of the UK was actually taking a private cabin. There's photos of Epstein and his and Ghislaine Maxwell at the Queen's private cabin. Like,
yeah,
at some point, dirtbags hang out with dirtbags.
Yep.
I just don't. For a lesser man, how do you fix the issue? That's the hard part.
I don't think you can. I think we just have to sit back and enjoy whatever freedoms they give us.
Oh, apparently I lied to you. It wasn't a brick of cocaine. They proved it because they found her credit card with lines of cocaine cut up. That's how they proved it.
Jesus.
And somebody tried charging the card and it came back with an FBI warrant. So that's how they really knew it was hers. That's ridiculous.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
That is according to USA Today, if anybody wants to look that up.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Epstein, man?
He was a 260-pound sack of shit and kind of got what he deserved, even though it was definitely murder from the Clintons.
How dare you say that?
I mean, I can throw spaghetti at the wall and hope it sticks, but man, it's taken a long time to slide down that wall.
I know. Man. So why do you think Ghislaine is like kind of like in a hush hush spot? Like they're not really saying anything about it.
So the idea behind Ghislaine is she is the only person to be convicted on a child sex ring trafficking charge when there was over, I believe, 1,500 girls involved in the sex trafficking, but none of the offenders are part of the accusations, and she's just a scapegoat. That's all it is. She's just a scapegoat.
Do you think she wants to take the fall, or
I think she's getting paid very handsomely to take the fall?
Because she wouldn't. You would think like they'd either kill her, if she was trying.
If she took the deal, she's getting
that's what
paid.
I mean.
That's
what I'm saying.
Like, I will take any punishment you give me. Just pay my bills.
Yeah, it's like something else is going on there because she'd be dead by now.
I think she's gonna get out of jail in about 4 years' time. They're gonna slip it out on a Friday afternoon that she got released, and then we'll never see her again.
Nope, and no one will care.
Exactly. The time to care is over. Something moves on something else.
Yeah, because I mean, no one truly cares about pedophilia in this planet. I don't know why. I guess it's who knows, man. I don't know why.
Because the lizard people like it.
Damn right. They gotta steal our luge fucking Pindars. Like, gotta have as much kids as possible. I think it's the currency, dude. Honestly.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about the dollar. All right. Yeah. So the dollar is going to collapse. Buy Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're going to be merging soon. Invest in ammunition and food because the collapse is coming and we're all fucked.
But don't those two things collide? Like, get the real shit, the food in the water because in ammo,
right?
But buy something digital.
Get out of
could be useless.
If
it turns into chaos.
Goldman Sachs said something very eye-raising. Buy stocks, spend your money on stocks, buy the dip, pretty much is what he said. Because for any kind of stocks, like for crypto, whatever you want to do, if you see a dip, buy it. Because either you're going to be wrong and you will no longer care about the stocks because the apocalypse happens, or you're going to be right and very wealthy. That's what his official statement was. And that's kind of like, he's literally putting this to a coin toss right now. And he's supposed to be managing $1 billion of hedge funds. I took it to the other extreme. I have a lot of ammo reloading. I'm getting a little foundry so I can melt metal down and make bullets that way.
Cool.
I have chickens in the backyard. So I've got, I'm looking at getting meat birds as well. So that way I can get at least 1% of my daily food from them.
Yeah.
I'm
What's a
pretty good
meat
at
bird?
a meat bird. Okay, so a
Like a
chicken.
quail or
No, it's just a chicken. So chickens kind of come in two different types. They have egg layers, which mostly produce eggs, and then you have a meat bird, which mostly produces like your supermarket style meat. Like they get real fat and heavy, and they're mostly just
okay.
all meat. They don't. Their lifespan is like 6-7 weeks, and then they're ready for
What?
harvest. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They grow up as fast as they can, as fat as they can. They don't do anything besides eat, and then they're ready to be harvested.
Damn. Do they multiply
If you let them breed, yes, they can multiply.
like crazy?
Not as fast as like egg layers will, because
Mm.
we have 16 hens, and we're getting about 6 eggs a day from them. And those, well, they're designed, they've been bred to be egg layers, so they're gonna keep producing eggs as fast as they can.
Are those eggs good?
They are. They're very good. They're
Damn.
corn scratch, a layer mix to help them for the calcium for their shells, and then we throw in sunflower seeds into it because they seem to really enjoy it. And man, nothing beats farm fresh eggs. Like we get so many of them, it's like, oh, I'm tapped. I can't eat any more eggs. I can't.
Yeah.
So many.
What's your backyard situation?
I mean, it's
Do
pretty
you
open
have?
area.
I mean, do you live in the city?
No, I'm pretty rural area, but I'm
Oh
15
man.
minutes away from like a town, a pretty large town with a Walmart in it. So I'm not that far away from
Damn, that's
society.
perfect, bro. That's a
Exactly.
perfect spot.
And every weekend, we have like what we call the national anthem going on. There's like people just shooting and testing their guns all around us. Like gunshots are
Yeah.
normal on the weekend. Everyone's having fun.
Can you just shoot your gun in your backyard?
I can.
Oh,
And
dude,
nobody will say a word.
That is so awesome. I live in the damn city, dude. I feel like I'm
Get out of the
a
city.
rat, dude. I feel like I'm a rat.
New York?
You know? Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, get out of New York. New York is going to hell.
No. I love Texas, dude. I'm in South Texas. Right. But I feel like a rat, dude. I got a small backyard. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for what I have, but I would love to have some land and some chickens and because dude, it's not like if I want to shoot my gun, I gotta go to a freaking range, you know, and pay all this kinds of money, like $30 an hour just to unload some rounds, which is ridiculous, you know.
Go if you present yourself pretty nice, go to a farmer. Just pull in and be like, hey, I figured you got a range here. Can I give you like $20 and shoot at your range or something for a little bit? Odds are, being in, especially if it's an older guy, he'd kind of be like, well, I don't really know. Let me get back to you. But after a while, you keep coming and ask him, he's gonna be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That's not a bad idea.
That's what a lot of old guys do.
Like befriend him.
Yep. Just be like, I just want to come and shoot. I don't want to pay the stupid range tax. I'd rather pay you for it. And he's like, yeah, sure. You want to come shoot, clean up after yourself.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, I got some eggs. You want some eggs? Or
there you go. I mean? Yeah. Or you can come and buy fresh beef from him.
Yeah.
If he's a cattle ranger.
Yeah. There's a lot of open farms over here where I'm at.
A lot of farmers got their own range. All of them do.
I know. Lucky bastards. So how do you feel about food shortages, man? Do you think China's gonna ramp it up again with their bullshit?
Well, I have two thoughts on this. My first thought kind of comes with China's going to try and tighten their grip on America's throat of supply chain issues, which is to be expected when two superpowers are trying to overtake each other. Granted, China's having their own issues right now in Shanghai. Look at a lot of suicides in China right now. So they're kind of fighting that off, which kind of puts the target off our back for right now. But the other issue I can see coming up that might be a good thing is, so the world is tilting ever so slightly this way. So the North Pole is no longer a true North Pole, which also means that the permafrost areas in like Montana, upper Nebraska, the Dakotas, the permafrost is going away, which means there's going to be more farm fields available, which means we're going to be able to ramp up our own food production. So it all depends on how we want to take certain issues, but I think we have an opportunity to really make an impact and make America kind of self-sufficient again.
How do we do that with an old, decrepit, senile man?
States' rights. Have the states take back control.
Yeah.
That's the only way to fix it. That's the only logical way of fixing it, because then you can still have the representation of the state for the rest of the people that they vote in, and you're not really infringing on other states, so there's no federal charge against it. That's the only way I can see possibly going forward.
So do you think all that's the new videos from China and stuff is just like legit, or do you think it's more propaganda? Like with the people screaming in their balconies? I think it's real. You think so?
I think it's real because I follow a lot of tech guys on YouTube, and a lot of them have tried data analyzing certain things. And what got me was the drone flying over saying, "Quell your soul's soul's desire to sing, do it for freedom." And it's like, whoa,
I could have made that video right. Though.
You could have
made that.
But when there was one like, back in 2020, right when the pandemic started, 2020, I think.
Yeah.
And then this one just came out recently, and it's two separate videos, but they look identical. So
that's why I'm like, because I remember they were welding people in their houses.
Yes.
And like people were falling and flapping like fish.
Yes.
And I believed it, dude. I'm telling you, bro. I was the first asshole with freaking, like, I was listening to Alex Jones. He's like, "This is it. They're going to hit us with a bioweapon.
Yep.
We're all going to die." I'm like, fuck. So I told all my friends, I'm like, dude, this is for real, bro. Like, no, this was real early on, like where nobody even cared or listened.
November, like, December area.
Yeah. I was like, dude, shit's going to get real over here, bro. Like, for real. Yeah. And so I started buying gloves, and like, I had all the PPE. I couldn't get a mask. It took me like 3 months to get a mask. Nobody was wearing a mask, and I was already buying masks and gloves. Yeah. I was like, damn, they're gonna release a fucking bioweapon. Like, this is for real.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, I'm not wearing a mask. Go to hell. You know, I'm not wearing gloves. I'm like, fuck it. I don't care. You know. But it was weird, like that weird transition from like being the first person. Literally, like I would go to the store and I'd be wearing gloves, and I felt like a psychopath.
Well, at the first you were scared of the unknown, and now it's pretty well known and everything's pretty well researched. It's I got better odds of dying from the flu.
Yeah, but that's what happened. I was so informed that I was prepared.
Yeah.
And then I got so informed that I realized it was pretty much bullshit.
Right.
You know, and so it took a polar opposite 180. You know what I mean? As far as my mental state on that.
I did a very similar thing. At first, I was kind of skeptical and I kind of stayed away from everybody. And then as it kind of continued on and I did more research into it and whatnot, I was like, this is bullshit. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially with that smoke experiment with the M95s. So M95 will not protect you from smoke particles, and viruses are 4 times smaller.
Yeah, they're like 1 microbe.
And that's where they're like, okay, your bandana mask is not going to save you.
Like, yeah. Your gator for fishing, like blocking the sun, is not going to stop.
Exactly. This is all charade.
That's where I was at too. I said, okay, all you have to do is learn that the virus is 1 microbe big.
Yeah.
And then you have to see how big the microbes stop from the mask.
Right. It's like, open your goddamn eyes.
If you can figure that, if you can see those two, it's like on South Park when the detective is like trying to, he's got like the hand.
They're all like, right hands.
Yeah. They're all right hands. And then he's like, and then it's like, wait a minute. Damn it. Yeah. It's like that, dude. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the hard part is indoctrination, because so many people have been indoctrinated, like, wear your mask, listen to the TV, do what you're told. And like when you bring them with an objective reality that's different from what they're used to, that's when they get violent, because their world narrative is getting shattered. And I've been working slowly on getting people to be like, okay, how do I ease this in so that way they're not just gonna go, you know,
right?
Start punching people. Like that's
like jump scare them.
Exactly. It's like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
It's silly.
It's all silly, dude. I'm just hoping
world.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the snake doesn't retract its squeeze on us, you know, and the election cycle comes back and all of a sudden there's a new variant, and
there's going to be,
all of a sudden we have to go back to mail-in voting, and all of a sudden we get another lockdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like perfect timing.
It is. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Come on now. Democrat 101.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that the whole entire thing was to stop Trump. Like the whole thing.
Here's my opinion on this, and this is not really, it's kind of controversial-ish. It's more like it's so far out there that nobody really wants to pay attention to it. My thought is Trump wasn't ousted that way or done dirty that way. He was anti-voted. That's why Biden's in office, because anybody but Trump. Make the TV stop screaming at me. That's why Trump lost.
In order to say that, you'd have to believe that the election was 100% fair.
I am not going to say the election was 100% fair. You can point to several instances of voter fraud, but as a whole, I think there was people that have no right voting, who couldn't even tell you who their state senator was voting for Biden. And that's all they were voting for. Just
several
Biden.
Things can be true at once.
Right. Absolutely. And it's just one of those, again, the lesser of two evils. How do you want to play it? And that's, in my mindset, that makes the most sense. People just anti-voted for Trump.
Yeah. And but my point was, the whole entire COVID thing was just to stop Trump.
Yeah.
To stop Trump. And I'm talking, if you're thinking globally, not just like locally, like the whole world. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's our enemy? China. Right.
Okay.
As far as trade and, who wants to be the biggest superpower. Obviously, if you pay attention to China, they say they want to overtake America by 2023 or 2025 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I got that. And I said, okay, remember all that talk in the news that Trump was doing trade deals with China and they were getting kind of pissed off at Trump because he was saying, oh yeah, China hasn't paid for a single thing in 20 years and we're going to turn that around and we're doing deals with China.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Yeah.
Remember that? And he was like, oh yeah, we got him now. Now they're going to be, now they're going to have to pay us. What's it called?
They're going to have to, it's a tariff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They're like, China's been getting away with this for too long. And they've been, and you need a real man to tell them, no, you're freaking paying. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we need. And so that's what he was doing. And all that shit it hasn't fully happened yet. It was getting close. He's like, we're making deals with soybeans and, all this stuff, and like, I was like, damn, hell yeah. Finally, we're going to start getting some of that debt gone because we're going to be, you know what I mean? Like making money back.
I think my favorite thing from Trump was like, what's going on with Saudi Arabia? He's like, we're selling a lot of guns. We're doing great. It's good for business.
Like, yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Like, he just said it. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
His personality was amazing. I loved him as a president, but I never voted for him. Like, that was the thing. Like, I did the Hillary or Clinton. It was like Hillary or Trump. And I'm like, I am not voting for this guy. I'm not voting for either of them.
I voted for Trump in a heartbeat. But anyways, yeah, so they were like, okay, I'm just thinking like, okay, if I was in a room with Xi Jinping and I was like, fuck, we're about to have to start paying America billions and billions of dollars.
Right.
We're losing this bid. Right. What are we going to do? Trump's going to be president for another 4 years. We're going to be
the
fucked.
Economy. Crash the world economy.
What do we fucking do?
Yeah.
I got a good idea. Release this virus, put out propaganda, say that it's killing everybody, say that it was a bat, and really it's going to be a flu and it's going to kill some people. Right. It's going to kill some people, but we have to do what's for the greater good. And we have to stop Trump and we have to stop America from taking over even more. Because if that deal would have went through, Trump, that we would have skyrocketed above them even more, and they would have never met their quota of taking over America.
I mean, what was it? The auto manufacturers, when Trump first sat down with them, he pretty much said, you will bring back factories to America. If you don't, you're going to be tariffed to hell and nobody will buy your vehicles again.
Yeah.
And nobody stood up to these big corporates before like that. And that's, I hate to say it, but he's the right asshole for the right job.
Yeah, we need a major asshole to run the planet. Yes.
We're too soft fleshies anymore. We have to have somebody rugged.
Yes, man.
Even though he's still a little pudgy, like he's still rugged with his words.
Yeah, for sure. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess after the years gone by, since that happened, I was like, yeah, they probably released the entire virus to stop Trump. So
I mean, that's possible. Again, two things can be true at once.
Yeah. It could be multifaceted.
It could. It could. But I do know a lot of our COVID cases actually came from the UK because we shut down a lot of travel to China when they first kind of saw something was going on. But at that point, a lot of the Chinese ambassadors already came from like a summit that was going on in the EU, and then they were coming from the UK and towards the American embassies here in DC. So that's where a lot of our COVID cases came from, was from the UK travel. But nobody really wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
And that's just like,
of course not.
If you're going to shut down any kind of travel, you should really shut down all of it. Nobody played, what was it? Pandemic. Is that right? The virus game.
I don't know. Which one is that?
What the hell is that game called? I think it was called Pandemic.
I don't know. I never played it.
It was like a mobile game. You would make a virus and then release it, and then like the world would react to how you develop the virus.
Oh wow! When did that come out?
A while ago. I'm talking.
Really?
It was like
interesting.
2010, I think.
Interesting. Maybe almost like we should just build like a wall type thing, like, and like block people from coming in, like from spreading disease.
So that's an article from 2021. Looks like it was 2006 when the game came out.
What was it called?
Pandemic virus something.
I wonder if you could still download it.
Probably can.
Like Pandemic Part 2, 2023,
I'm gonna type in virus game. Plague Incorporated. That's the actual name for it.
Plague Incorporated.
Yep. Plague Inc.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, you can still download it on the App Store right now.
Damn. So are they gonna do the old pandemic lockdown thing for the next
the greatest cycle?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're gonna try, but I think that a lot of red states have had enough of it, and they're not gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And I think the blue cities are gonna lock down, and the red states are gonna be like, look at all this open air we can do,
Yeah.
They're gonna do their own thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's going to come down to a lot of populists getting elected in. That's going to allow red states to do pretty much free reign of whatever they want to do. The cities might lock down inside the red states because the mayor might be like, oh, no. We're going to lock down. But the rest of the countryside is going to be like, whatever.
What if they bust out like a real virus? Like a real virus. Like a 3-4% death rate or something like that.
Well, kiss your ass.
They talked about it.
The internet, the power plants, a lot of the farming, supply chain issues. We're going to see pretty much like the movie I Am Legend. Like this.
Yeah. We could barely handle a fucking 0.3 death rate,
We can barely handle obesity in this country. What makes you think we can handle something like that?
We can't handle it, dude. What is like 80% of death is like
36%.
Something about like heart problems, from just being fat,
I think it's cardiac arrest.
Yeah. Yeah. There's all kinds of slews of problems from being overweight.
According to New York Times, 425,000 people die per year for cardiac arrest.
That's a lot of people.
And that is back in 2019. So that's pre-pandemic.
Dude, that's like pandemic numbers right there, bro. That's a pandemic right there, man.
Right?
McDonald's.
Those
cocksuckers are on every corner. I think it's their fault, man. Like,
I'm gonna look up car accidents, see what we got here, because I think car accidents might be higher.
Car accidents? No, I think heart disease is like number one, bro. Heart disease, and who knows? I think that they're gonna kill us no matter what. I don't know. I think they'll release a real bioweapon if they have like a true serum,
right?
Not like the vaccine where you still get it and you can still die, like a straight up cure.
Oh yeah,
but it'll only be for like the elites. Probably won't tell anybody about it.
They're probably already microdosing for it.
For real, they probably already have it. Like, did you hear anybody of like real importance die from COVID? No, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Right?
No. So according to DC.gov, in 2021, we were at 40,000 car accidents a year. So yeah,
that's nowhere near heart disease. Heart disease is like
way more,
way up there.
Okay, I'm allowed to be wrong.
No, because I've looked that up before because I was like, damn, everyone's fat. They're probably freaking dying of heart disease, you know?
I mean, I that's why I fact check myself so much at a time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I can say something and be like, wait, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, good old internet, right?
Yeah. Every interview I do, I've got a page pulled up. Like I say some weird shit. I better look this up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I live in like one of the fattest cities in America. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Corpus Christi is like, there's just fat people everywhere, dude.
I mean, we have fat homeless people. Like we have an issue with obesity, and it's because of empty calories and not enough like physical nutrition. Exercise.
Yeah. So like in Corpus, I kid you not, I think we counted one time. I work on this road called Leopard, and it's just like a industrial road where there's like a lot of businesses, not like Walmart's and
it's an industrial complex. Okay.
Yeah, like equipment for oil refineries and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
We counted, I'm not kidding, like maybe 25 to 30 taquerias like on one block, like on 3 miles, like taqueria, just like one after another, dude. And then there'd be like a McDonald's and a Whataburger thrown in there.
It sounds like heaven to my fat ass.
It's like, holy shit, man. These Mexicans are thriving here. They're freaking.
Well, they are.
You pop up a taqueria, you're going to get some business, son.
That's like, I mean? Up here, we have a lot of immigration help for farmhands because we've got a couple of dairy farms near us. And every year there's they move up about 4 or 5 trailers that you see at a trailer park, and they just park it at the ranch. And there's like 4 of them that live in a trailer, and they're there for about 8 months, and they help with all the dairy product. They help with the cow handling. They help with a lot of things. And once they make their quota of money, they go back to Mexico and live like kings.
No way.
Yeah. And they got a business going.
Is that legal?
Yeah, completely legal. They all have their green cards. The dairy owners work with the states and the government, and they all legal. As long as
then I guess I can't be I guess I agree with that. I mean, I would rather
they're doing the job we don't want to
Americans. Well, that's not true. I'd work on a farm.
They get paid. I think it's about $15 an hour to
be decent.
To be a farmhand. But a lot of Americans in our area don't want to do that job because we've been promoted and told that we have to go to college and do things in the academic sense. So we left the low skill labor jobs to immigrants.
Dude, I'd kill for a 15-hour job when I was younger.
Yeah, me too. I was managing a McDonald's at the time. That job was shitty, and I was only making $9 an hour.
Yeah, and that's for a managerial position. I worked at McDonald's too when I was like 17. Man, I got like $7.
$7.25.
Yeah, and I still think that's minimum wage. $7.25 or like $7.45 or something like that. I think
it's the federal minimum wage right now.
That's wild. But you shouldn't be working a minimum job age if you're 35. You know what I mean? That's not. You're supposed to get out of those jobs. Those aren't like careers, you know.
Indiana minimum wage for 2022 is $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, hasn't changed, Indiana. Dude. And that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, Jesus. It has not changed at all.
That's crazy, dude. And then inflation's just going through the roof. Oh man, it's pissing me off.
Oh yeah,
it's pissing me off so bad.
It's gonna, as soon as a lot of people start to wake up to the fact, like, hey, my monthly grocery bill jumped to $150. What's going on,
dude? Seriously,
that's when we'll start to see. Hopefully, people understand like we need to really look at certain things.
Yeah, it's like what's causing this? You know,
corporate bureaucracy and bullshit.
Right, but they all Biden has to say is, "Oh, it's Putin," you know, and then they got him again. They got the brainwash people again. You know, you can't untrain that shit.
I like what the Shapiro said one time. He's like, "Yeah, I know how Biden reacts to things. They open up the crypt and he comes out and he goes, and they close the crypt, and then I was like, I guess we have to interpret this. I don't know."
Yeah.
Sure enough, I shot out of pressure.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Dude, I cannot believe he said, we can sum up America in one word.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
I was like, holy shit. Like, that was the one time he couldn't fuck it up. Just don't fuck this up. He just dropped the ball. Like, he just had to say one word and he couldn't do it. I was like, damn.
Goats are like mushrooms. I'm scared. If you shoot a duck, I'm scared of toasters. What? What? That man said that on a public stage. What?
Dude. And then at the same time, they're like, they cover for him, man.
He's the most popular president ever.
Yeah.
81 million votes.
He's smart. He's sharp. Look at him. Yeah. Own Trump. And
he's dyslexic and shit himself at the Vatican.
I'd shit myself too if I was at the Vatican. Seeing all that wild stuff, dude. So the Vatican has like an underground
archive, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I would love to go to the archive just to thumb through things and see everything. Even if I couldn't take any of the knowledge with me, I would just love to see it for the first time.
They'd probably kill you.
I mean, yeah. I'll wait till I'm like 80 or something when I've lived a good life to go there.
Yeah.
I was right.
Lizard people. Boom. Oh, he's dead.
According to South Park, it's the Arachni people.
So you got the Pope in the building with the lizard, right, for the throne. Okay. So is it too far-fetched to say that there's some type of lizard humanoid?
Well, I mean, if we really want to talk about it, where do lizards and snakes usually live?
Underground. No, sorry.
I was gonna say they're more of a
like
humid climate.
Yeah.
And where is the Vatican located? Right next to a Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah, dude. And there's some people that said that they, there's some places underground where, like, have you heard of that story? I always forget the name of the. No, there's a dude. I forgot I cannot remember his name. I always forget. He went underground. He said he worked on some base or something.
Okay.
And he saw like some weird lizard alien guy and he melted his freaking arm off. And so now he has like no arm and his hand is like completely deformed. He's like, dude, a fucking lizard person shot me with a laser and melted my arm off. I know that sounds insane.
It does. I'm looking it up.
I cannot fucking remember his name. God, I wish I could remember. He said something like that. Like he went underground and somebody shot, like he saw something and it shot like some high-tech weapon at him and freaking melted his arm off.
Oh, this is the wrong story. Okay. Some dude got tattooed like a lizard man.
Oh yeah, I've met that guy. He's freaking cool.
Yeah. Connor Curtis, aka the Lizard. That's what I'm not seeing.
It might have been an alien or something, like an underground. It melted his arm off. Like, damn, I can't remember the story. But he was like going on book tours and in like giving PowerPoint presentations and like all kinds of stuff, man. And his arm is like completely, like totally wrecked. I don't know what the hell, but
I'm not seeing.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to look up. Maybe, we could figure that out.
I'm trying to do my face value looking and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, no, it's more of like a obscure type thing. But you'd have to check that out later. But yeah, I don't know, man. Well, what do you think's underground? You think that there's possibly, because I have you ever heard of
DUMBs? No.
Deep underground military bases?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of those, and a lot of people I've talked to who know the military, they've always said, like, yeah, those are nuclear apocalypse, like nuclear bunkers that were built during the Cold War, all scattered around the world, because a lot of the hierarchy of the elites built them because in case of a nuclear annihilation, they wanted to be able to still survive. So that can be somewhat as a reasoning why they were built. I don't know if that's a real answer or not, but that's a good estimate of why they're there.
I would say that those suckers are up and running.
Probably. I mean, if they were reinforced and kept up to the date, kept up to date, why wouldn't you keep them?
Yeah.
Especially when nuclear war is like at any point in time.
Yeah. What do you know about the Colorado airport?
Oh. I've heard about this one. I know it. I gotta read some of it.
Well, there's a lot of weird shit going on there, dude. They went way over budget for the airport, and they spent tons of money, and they also excavated tons of earth that was unnecessary, like to build an airport.
The Denver International Airport.
Yeah, there's like a huge horse with like demon eyes.
Yeah, that statue.
Yeah, and there's like all these weird, super weird paintings inside there that are like
Soviet wielding a scimitar, holding people down with a gun. Yeah.
Yes, and there's kids and fucking they're all wearing gas masks, and it's like, what in the hell's going on in this airport? So the word is that there's an underground tunnel at the Denver airport, and Denver's like smack dab in the middle of America. Right. So there's like it's like an underground highway, dude, of like children trafficking and drugs and God knows what else down there, you know.
What? The Denver airport, I guess somebody took an aerial photo and was like, yeah, it's a swastika. Like the way the runways are set, it does look like a swastika.
No way.
Yeah.
Shit. That just adds to it, dude.
Like this is what?
It's bizarre, dude. The Denver airport is bizarre.
I've never been there and I don't want to go.
Like I'm telling you, dude, there's underground tunnels that lead to the fucking Denver airport.
I wonder if the reason it costs so much was like they're hiding all their slush fund money into it.
Well, but that doesn't explain the excavation.
No, it really
Why did they move? Why did they move so much earth?
Why is there a blue horse with balls?
Those balls killed somebody. They fell and killed the sculptor. The nuts fell off the horse and smashed him in the head and killed him.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up, dude. I'm serious.
No, I'm reading it right now. Yeah. He was sculpting it and a chunk fell off and hit him in the head, giving him a coma-like symptoms, and he died shortly afterwards.
Yeah, dude.
That's weird.
Dude, there's some weird shit going down over there, dude. That's like the Vatican 2.0. You know, it's like, what's up with these weird ass places on the
fact that the Masons were involved with it says a lot too.
Oh yeah,
anything the Mason.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it says there's a photo of the masonry is building it back in 1994, and there's so many conspiracy theories with the Masons that they
big time.
Well, that's because of what was it the Nicolas Cage movie, The Plot to Seal the Declaration of Independence. What the hell movie was that? That gave a lot of credence to a lot of
National Treasure or something.
Yeah, National Treasure. That gave a lot of credence to a lot of like different conspiracy theories because there was already like the Freemasons are weird, and then they make this movie about it, and it's like, well, it concretes our point. Like, yeah it was. Well, it was a caricature.
Art imitates life, man.
That's true.
They do some weird shit movies, man, and a lot of that stuff it comes out into life. Like, I don't think movies are just movies anymore. When I watch a movie, I'm like looking for telltale signs of. I mean, Eyes Wide Shut is a perfect example.
I've never seen that one.
No?
No.
Oh, you got to see that one, dude. Watch Eyes Wide Shut. It's got like Nicole Kidman. And
I don't know who that is.
Nicole Kidman, dude. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay. Yeah, she was like a hot babe in freaking the early 90s, 80s. But Tom Cruise, and it's like about like some weird rich mansion where all these rich people go to have like these weird sex cult satanic rituals.
Okay.
And then if you look up who Nicole Kidman's father was, like he was openly into that shit.
Oh, all right.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, and then they pick her to be in the movie. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. So there's a lot of lore around that movie and Nicole Kidman and her dad and all that stuff. But that's just one, instance of movies being super like projecting the weird shit that goes on.
There's always weird shit going on if you know where to look.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's in the movies. Like, who are the sickest, sycophantic, narcissistic, self-indulged people on the planet?
Hollywood. The critical elite and company CEOs.
Right. Yeah. So
everybody who visited Epstein Island.
Yeah. And those are the people making the movies, you know?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are, at least.
Yeah. It's terrible. I think a lot of stuff can be summed up to bad people doing bad things, and the cover story usually makes a better story.
Well, that's what it is. It's bad people doing bad things, and then you're crazy if you point it out.
Well,
you know?
Yeah.
Or you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist if you don't believe the official story.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. So we've done about an hour and 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
We just kind of talked about whatever, you know.
That's usually how my show goes. Just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Like I talked to one dude and we went from plants you can eat in North America to going into space and plants interacting weird in space to asteroid mining with a moon base idea, back down to nuclear power across the world. And then we moved into why Asian people live longer. Like we went everywhere.
That sounds like a good time.
He come on to talk about his book, and we completely sidetracked everywhere away from it.
That's always a good thing.
I'm really good at sidetracking things.
Yeah, that's like the point of these things, anyways. You know, just kind of see where everyone's head's at. You know,
right?
Let's have a good time. So Steven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was fun. Tell her, I know this is a Swapcast, so can I kind of tell everyone? Yeah. My name is Elijah. I have a podcast called Lizard News Network, where we get weird about lizard people, space, flat Earth, God knows what, spirituality, freaking, you know, everything you could even think of. And we do that on Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah,
and you can't find me on Twitter because I'm banned for life. And tell everyone where they can find you.
So I am Steve, the host of the Fluffy Hobo Show. I call myself the Fluffy Hobo Show because I'm kind of fat and I'm politically homeless. And we talk about everything. I'm YouTube. I'm on Spotify. I've got a Facebook page. I got a Minds profile. I do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I'm also on Rumble. Like I'm pretty well scattered across everywhere. You just search the Fluffy Hobo Show and you're going to find me.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, this is fun, man. We can do another one and talk flat Earth and God, man.
Yeah, if you want, we can get into religion if you'd like. That's an episode on its own.
That's what I mean. Religion. Like that's an hour banger right there, dude. I didn't even get to talk to you about that. So we got to set up another one. Out. Yeah, maybe next month we'll do another one.
Sure.
Cool, man.
All right,
Hobo.
Have fun.
Thank you, man. Talk to you later.
Later. Thank you for watching the show. This was a fun one. Hopefully Elijah will come back and again. Until then, stay cool, fam.